Man, I missed all of you. Welcome to season 2 of Legends on the Rise, where I interview up and coming artists and creatives of all kinds. It encompasses every single thing about creativity. I'm Josh, and this is Legends on the Rise.
I'm more about just having the music be of top importance and maybe having some promotional material, but it has to agree with the music. It can't just be entirely unrelated.
What's up, man? What's one obstacle that you had to face, like learning music or like getting the hang of it? Did you always know that you wanted to play in bands, or did you want to be solo at one point, or like, how did that happen?
Well, I always wanted to play in a band, but it was always really hard to kind of get people on the idea. I guess because I don't know, rock music is kind of a weird area, you know what I mean? Because you have people that are they play rock music for maybe a different reason than you know, or a different sound entirely. So it's kind of I don't know, the genre I play is kind of in its own little pocket, you know. Actually, the Stereo Cult had this problem too, because when I joined them, they kind of told me that it was hard to get a guitarist for their band that actually played along with what they were playing, you know?
Yeah.
You can get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. When I was back in the whole music scene in a band, the biggest issue was trying to find either a bassist or a drummer at the time, because a lot of the time, we couldn't find anyone that would play like a certain style, a certain sound, or that fit into the band's overall like mix per se, like with the sound and their style. So that was always hard. Like we would have the guitars already, we'd already have vocalists, maybe even a keyboardist, but yeah, the bass and the drummer, always the hardest to find. I've been hearing
Yeah.
that around a lot. Like every other band that I've talked to, they've said they had the same issue finding that particular thing. So was
Mm.
it kind of similar with the whole guitarist issue with Stereo Code as well? Like finding the guitars?
Yeah, because like I mean, as guitarist, I try to play along with, you know, what the vocals are doing, what the bass is doing, and find my, you know, try to be the glue of those things versus just kind of tacking power chords onto everything. You know, I think rock music is easy to oversimplify because you have all these uh and I'm not talking down, but there's a lot of bands where they just put power chords on everything. But that's not necessarily what you should do if you're trying to play with four other people, you know. If you're like two people, yeah, you can do that. If you're like three people, you can do that. But it's a little harder when you got more cooks in the kitchen, you know?
That's fair. Would you
Yeah.
say this has contributed to any burnout or mental fatigue trying to like manage all these different personalities and like directions with like what sound should go with what?
No, no,
Mm.
no, because you find the thing that works and you stick with it.
But I mean like early on, like when you first joined Stereo Code even or even Civic Duties, like have you found like some people liked power chords more than like complicated riffs and licks, and some people preferred the melody more so than like the rhythm?
I've always been more of a melody person. I'll put power chords where um I think they would work, you know. Because there are some stereo cult songs where I do just play power chords, you know. There's certain parts where it's just like, yeah, I can go ham here. Um, but then there's other parts where the guitar is more of a um it's more melodic, so I gotta be more sparse with it, you know?
It's understandable. So you don't
But no,
really.
sorry,
So,
go ahead.
sorry, you're good. You're good. I don't want to cut you off. You're good.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, so I found what works, you know, like I have found what works.
Have you ever done any collab or like had any dream collab that you could do? And if you could, what would it be? Like which group or artist even?
Oh, that's a tough one. They're all dead.
Ah, dude. Is there anyone that's like alive that you're like, oh, dude, see, like that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to do. Like, I want to collab with them. Like, is there been anyone like that that you're like easily top three artists alive today, or like in the same scene as me? That's who I want to collab with, or at least go on tour with, or something. Like,
Hmm. I am collabing with this new friend I made who's really cool. He goes by Death of the Last Beautiful Jaguar, and like that's like his stuff is really original. I like his shit. So we're collabing on like an EP.
got a new EP coming out. So, do you already have a set day for it? Are the songs already recorded, or are you still working on them? Don't want to reveal too much, or like.
Yeah, we're still working on. Yeah, it's a sequel.
He's like, I'm not giving nothing away. I can't. It's too early. We have to let it marinate a bit.
Still
Um,
cooking.
still cooking. So, what's a current trend right now in the music scene, or even like promoting music that you feel is like overhyped or overrated? Like you're like, you don't see yourself ever doing that.
TikTok.
TikTok? Anything in particular on TikTok? Is there like a trend that you see like a lot of musicians getting into it do? Like, you gotta check out this song that I just released, and then they like play a clip or something like that. Like, I don't really know all the hooks. I'm just saying that might be something, but
Probably skits. I can't see myself doing a TikTok skit. In general, I'm just too lazy to do TikTok. It's like I'd rather put more time into music than TikTok.
what
I
do
mean,
you
if I can find someone that's uh
tech
down,
tech savvy, like with the camera and all the editing and all that?
yeah, I'm too lazy for that shit.
So, what do you do to like market and promote your music in general, like on social media, or do you use social media like that at all?
I could be better with the promotion, to be honest. That's something I'm trying to get better at. I do make like little clips sometimes where it's just the audio of the song over some visuals, and I'll just leave it at that because I don't like explaining the song or like, you know, POV, send this to your ex. I don't like doing that.
Yeah, I don't really do that either. I kind of want to learn though the marketing strategies for that stuff because I do think it's interesting. But I agree it is a lot of work to do all that cutting, pasting, editing. Send this to your ex or share this if you relate to this or like just
Yeah.
there's a lot of that. What do you think about the whole content creation thing? Like when someone says I'm a content creator or an influencer, how do you feel about that? And would you describe yourself as a content creator or an influencer in this day and age, or are you like vehemently against that term?
If someone wants to be a content creator or an influencer, that's an entirely different game from being like a musician. Um, because you're just talking about an entirely different set of values. If somebody wants to do that, I mean, that's fine as long as you're not promoting anything bad, you know? Like you can do that in a I don't know, like a beneficial way, I guess, but that's not really my game. Like I don't consider myself an influencer.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe I thought about being a memer, but uh, nah, it's too much work.
I mean, I heard a story that that's how Lil Nas X promoted his music before he was famous. Like he would just post a bunch of memes on Twitter back in the day, and apparently those memes blew up, and then he started adding music that he made with it, and then his music took off with the memes, and his page apparently blew up practically overnight.
Yeah,
So, I don't know, might be worth looking into.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's a that's a pretty smart way of going about it, but
I mean,
like, yeah,
you probably know this more than anybody. I'm learning this day by day. Like there's not a one size fits all with like making it big in the music industry. Like there are multiple different ways you can go about it, which is actually one of the beauties I personally like about it. It's not like one set thing to get famous. It's like, or even like well known, or to even sell music or to promote it. It's like there are a bunch of different avenues with it, which
Hmm.
I like. I don't know if you feel the same way or
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of different avenues. Um, and the Lil Nas X thing worked for him, you know, like
yeah.
the meme thing worked for Lil Nas X, but like that's not really the way I would go about it personally. But it's valid, you know. I'm more about just having the music be of top importance and maybe having some promotional material, but it has to agree with the music. It can't just be entirely unrelated.
I generally try to like have the art form match the musical lyric or even just the musical structure that I'm going for. And I'm even having that problem now, and maybe you're having that or had that issue at one point when you first joined Civic Duties and first joined Stereo Cult, like where you're trying to make an album or an EP and you're like, what's the theme of this that we're going for, or a story if we're telling a story, but like organizing that.
I mean, if you're making an EP with a certain theme, you want to develop the world. You know what I mean? Kind of like I don't know, like games are a good way of looking at it. You know, whatever promotional stuff a company will release leading up to a game, it's got to do with the game that they're making, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's got to be in that world. It can't be just something entirely different that takes you out of that world.
I agree with that. I feel like there was a lot of like heavy promo for like games like Cyberpunk when it first came out, a lot of lore with that when that video game released back in what was it like 2020 or 2021?
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I didn't start playing it until like 2023, maybe 2022 for Cyberpunk, but the game had been out like 3 years before that, I think. So I was
Mhm.
coming into that like really late. But so I can't
Yeah.
talk too much on that.
No,
Um,
I haven't played it at all, so.
oh, dude, you're missing out. They added the DLC update for it for the, I guess it's like their Ultimate Edition bundle for it. Like it has the entire game with the spy thriller storyline on it. But
Ooh, all right. Yeah. No, that game always looked cool. I just never got around to it, you know?
I like
Like,
it because of the rock star aspect and the music. I think that sold it, honestly.
yeah.
This
Well,
idea of being a cyberpunk and against like corporalism and greed and like all these like corporations, or as they call them in that world, corpos, or
yeah.
like the people from those companies who work for them, they call them corps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. I mean, like, I'm sure the game got way more developed. Because you know, it got a lot of flack
Yeah.
when it first came out.
Yeah.
You know, like
It
I thought it
was
was gonna be a GTA type game.
no, that was initially like the idea that a lot of people had for when it first came out. They're like, is this like another Grand Theft Auto type game? Like we see these guns and stuff, we see like all these like different NPCs. It kind of has a story, kind of doesn't. Like you're driving a car, you're shooting, like because the
Yeah.
promo was very heavy on that, right?
Yeah.
And then it released, and they're like, wait, I thought you could play like third person. Why am I only stuck in this camera moving first person thing, which they kept. But then they're also like, how come I'm driving in this car and this person is like just randomly walking above me and glitching through the concrete and like they're like, is this part of the game? Or like
Yeah.
it was rough when it first came out. I didn't play it. I didn't have the honor of playing it when it first came out, thankfully. But I played it later when it was like more developed and they were doing promo again on the anime side of things because they released an anime to showcase that world and that story and that lore and those characters, which was a prequel to the game. Like it came out a year before the events of the video game.
Hmm.
And it was called Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Nah, nah, I haven't. But I mean, I would be down to play the game now that they fucking fixed it.
It's so good, dude. Like honestly, it's a cult classic at this point. It's probably easily top five games, especially if you like open world, sci-fi, dystopian, futuristic games. Easily top five, easily.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? That brings me to a certain topic. Like, you know what? I thought it was really funny to see artists putting out music and then, it's out on streaming and everything, and then they go back and edit the album after the fact. Have you noticed that?
What do you mean?
Kanye did this for a little bit, and other artists have done this too. It's usually like bigger artists that already have a massive following, but they'll put out an album and they'll be like, yeah, I don't like how this came out. And then they'll go back and edit it after it's been out already.
Like the deluxe or remastered version of the album that they release, basically, where they like redo everything, remix it, remaster, and like they re-record some vocals or instruments that they didn't have in the first version.
Well, they don't even do that, which is crazy.
Hmm.
They just pretty much go into like whatever service they use, put it out on streaming, and they edit it like the way it is. You
But
know what I
like
mean? They don't remaster it or
But that,
anything.
but that's what I mean when you say they edit it when it's already on the streaming platform. What do you mean they edit? Like you mean like they take the cuss words out and censor it? Do you mean like they change the artwork? Do you mean like what do you mean they edit it?
Oh, they'll like change the mix, or they might take someone out of the mix. They might put someone
Yeah,
in the mix.
yeah.
So,
Those are like the remastered or like redone versions. Like there's this band, Tokyo Hotel. They were a German like pop rock group. Their music's more on the pop side now, but at the time it was like considered emo pop punk. And they would release a song in German and then they'd release the same song in English. And they had this one song that was really popular called Monsoon. And the vocalist, he recorded that album with the band and all of them when they were in their teen years, like 15, 16 years old. So when he was like 18, 20, 21 years old, they re-recorded that entire album, including that song. And they had to change the key and everything, and it was considered like a re-release, a
oh,
re
okay.
redone and like repolished the way they wanted it. And even Black Veil Brides recently, they had a song that was like I guess it was their freshman album, but they had an album before that. You had to be a real fan to know about it. Like you had to be there at the time, but their freshman album like that hit the scene for that had their song Knives and Pens. It was called Stitch These Wounds. I personally thought it was a great album, like the way it was, but they redid it, I think 2 years ago. Because
Mhm.
apparently the lead singer was like, when I made this band in my head, I had a way I wanted the album to go. But since I was new to the music scene, the label said we had to do it this way based on our budget. And since we were new guys on the block, so we couldn't add all these like effects or get the guitars the way I wanted or the vocals to be the way I wanted. So it was just very raw and sloppy. And that's not how I wanted it. I wanted it like crisp, polished, and like hitting hard with the drums and the guitars, which the first album, it was all right. And I personally liked it, but he said it was like, eh. I heard
Mhm.
the remake, they changed the key of the song Knives and Pens, and they changed some of the cadences in Perfect Weapon as well, even though it was sung the same. But the
Mhm.
screams sounded weaker, the guitar sounded louder, the vocal sounded softer. I was like, I personally thought it wasn't as heavy hitting as when they first recorded it. But that was considered a remake of the first one. And
Mhm.
instead of calling it Stitch These Wounds like the first album, they called it Re-Stitch These Wounds.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, no, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I thought about doing some of that with uh the Lowland EP with my band,
it's Civic Duties or Stereo Code?
Civic Duties. Like, I thought about re-releasing a song or just like re-recording it entirely. But I mean, I've already got new songs that have the same ideas. So it's like I don't really need to go back and redo a song that's already out, you know?
That's fair.
Like you
But
can easily just kind of repackage the same ideas with a new song.
you think you'll ever go and do that? Like go back and like re-record that anyway? Like a song or two from that EP or that album?
Nah, because like I think those songs are good the way they are, like the way they're recorded and everything. Like all those ideas were meant to be recorded like that. So,
You don't want to change a classic. You're like, it's not broken, don't fix it. And personally, I like it the way it is. Don't ruin
uh-huh.
it. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, yeah, there's no point, you know, like
Yeah,
yeah, there's no point.
that's fair.
'Cause some people, you know, like sometimes there is the urge to want like I want it to sound cleaner or I want it to sound bigger or whatever, but like it's fine the way if it's fine the way it is, like you don't have to fix it.
True. So with that being said, have you ever met someone like in the scene who isn't like the biggest artist, but they're a bit like more known than Civic Duties or Stereo Cult, who gave you advice that you ignored but you wish you listened to sooner? And if so, what advice was that?
Damn, that's a good question. I'm yet to get there. Like, the people that I've mostly like really talked to are like at the same kind of plane. And so we're all kind of playing it the way we do it. I've yet to meet like someone that's like up there, you know what I mean? On a really higher plane of influence, but I'll get there when I get there, you know.
So what's next on the agenda for Civic Duties or even Alex? What is the next like big thing that you're trying to accomplish on your to-do list for music? You said you had that EP you were working on, but like, is there anything else you're like, I gotta do this next, like immediately, as soon as I can?
Yeah. Well, there is that again, there is that EP with Jaguar,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited for that because we're very like-minded, he and I.
Hmm.
And yeah, and then there is another Civic Duties EP that I'm cooking on. Um, and I think that's gonna come out hopefully by mid-July.
Hmm.
I'm aiming for mid-July because typically I need like a couple weeks to get vocals and guitars done. So, but yeah, so there's that, another Civic Duties. Um, Stereo Cult is coming out with another thing. Um, another, I think it's an album.
Hmm.
And for me personally, um, just to play shows with the new stuff because I got kind of tired of playing all the old stuff, you know, and nothing but, you know, I want to play like newer songs. So
That's fair. I imagine a lot of like other bands got tired of playing their same old songs. Like, I imagine that Queen would get tired of playing Bohemian Rhapsody over and over and over again, like after a while.
Mhm.
Or like Panic at the Disco, I Write Sins Not Tragedies. I remember when that whole thing was trending, like the lead singer was like, fuck, I hate this song. Because every performance he'd be like, he would sing it, and then at some point it went like you would see the years pass by, like where he's performing it the same exact line. And then like when it got to that little break point in the song, he'd be like, fuck, I really hate this song. And then he'd be like, I chimed in with the habit you
Yeah,
I'd just be,
like one everyone knows, you know.
yeah. I do hope that it never gets to that point though, like where I perform, damn, I can't even speak. Perform a song and I get tired of it though, like a classic song, you know? I really do hope it's like fine wine. It just like ages with time, you know? As opposed to like it ages and that time has passed and I don't feel that way anymore. And I hate that song. I wish I never recorded it. I'm tired of people. talking about that. Like I don't want to be that guy when
Yeah, you don't want to be the, the downer at your own party.
no, I mean, would you
Like,
like be like I performed for years and people really love this song, but that was 30 years ago, it's a classic, but I got new stuff since then. Like, and this song, it's all right.
yeah, yeah, like that's why I just want to focus on the new songs.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
I was saying like yeah, because like the Lowland songs off that EP, like that has a certain attitude about it.
Yeah.
And, I like it, but it's like it's within its own period of time. It's within its own, like its
It's
own
its
arrangement.
its own era, like over here, it doesn't define where your band's at currently. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like the stepping stone for the next project, but it's not all that you are as Civic Duties.
yeah, exactly. And I don't even have those bandmates anymore. I'm rearranging the band. So basically, like, I don't know if you're, I didn't tell you, but I did break up the band at some point because we had a falling out.
I think you
Uh,
made a post about it, like on your story or something, actually.
yeah, regretfully, yeah, I didn't need to make that shit public,
I
but
mean, followers of the group, they kind of need to know, especially like if they show up to the next show and they're like, wait, where's such and such? And then it's like, well, shit. I mean, we had a falling out, but I didn't want to do that in the middle of the show. But okay, well, at least you have it now on your story, like just to inform people. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, uh, no, but Death of the Last Beautiful Jaguar has been backing me up on bass, so that's been a, you know, do thank him for that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I am kind of trying to find a new keyboardist, and I also got to talk to him about whether he wants to keep playing bass with my thing, because um, I don't want to tire other musicians out if they're not exactly ready to take on this many projects because musicians can get really we can get hyped about collaborations, but you gotta know where other people's heads are at for sure.
True. So, any last minute advice for someone who's trying to pursue music like you are and do the whole band thing? What advice would you give them if you could name a few things?
Yeah, take it easy but take it, you know
Wait, what? Take it easy, but take it. What?
you know what I mean, just like take
Uh, you mean
take it
like
easy
you
but
mean like
keep
a
it
day?
going, that's what I mean.
Gotcha. So you mean like take it one day at a time. Don't like
Yeah,
overthink it, basically.
yeah, don't overthink it.
Gotcha. Okay.